build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance.
Hello everybody, welcome to Longbangers. I'm Matty.
Hey, I'm Colin.
And I'm John.
And Sunday evening, Hibs have won a game. First time this season in the league. 2-0 win up at Aberdeen. Goals from Adam Lafondra and Christian Doidge, giving us a win, a clean sheet, which is again unheard of for us, but we finally dug one of them out as well.
One of the Pataudry's almost unheard of, I think. What's that, like 3 times in about 10 years or something?
Something like that. It's funny, I actually thought the game today, we'll get thoughts on the game now, but it reminded me a lot of the last game, last season, where we had bags of chances but couldn't finish, and it looked like it was going to be another game where we were finishing with 0 for ourselves as well, but obviously didn't pan out that way. But John, we know you can't stay for the full episode. You did mention earlier on that you didn't think that shite you were hunting in was going to stay in until any later than 8 o'clock. So I'll come to you first. What are your thoughts on the game?
I thought the first half was a bit even. I thought Aberdeen had a couple of chances first half. I remember one header in particular that it seemed easier to score than it was to put it way up and over to the right of the crossbar that he did. Not sure what the changes were, if any, second half, but we seemed to be... In fact, no, sorry, Lafondra came on. Doidge came on, and that seemed to make a big difference. And they were obviously involved in both of the goals, and I thought that Doidge showed similar qualities to Lafondra chasing the first the ball that was going out of play for the first goal, and then it was a typical Doidge goal for the second. I mean, he almost could have scored twice there with the one that came back off the crossbar, and then he finished it off with a rebound. So no, I thought, it was pleasing. The first half, me saying it was a bit even, I was struggling to pay attention at times. It wasn't the same as Lee Johnson's my description of the previous 3 games. But like I say, the second half definitely livened up a wee bit, and I was more involved. It was a bit more interesting.
What were you calling?
I thought. How did you watch the game? Did you watch it on Aberdeen TV or Hibs TV?
Well, I switched between the two depending on which one was stuttering and stammering.
I was getting no commentary at all, which I found distracting. Right, so brother-in-law Charlie was over, wife and daughter Grace we were all watching it, no commentary, and so you're like, this is a bit like, as much as I almost like to have the commentary on, but not really listen to what they're saying, especially Kevin Harper, right? But like between you and me, but the no commentary thing, so I put on Aberdeen TV. Holy fuck! Like, who's that punter?
Wow. By the way, he needed a
never criticised Kevin Harper again. Oh, it was horrendous. It wasn't that. It wasn't just the sniffing and all that. Because he came up like with they kind of noises, right? I fucking hate all that anyway, right? I was just waiting on a bag of crisps or something. Fuck. But he's giving it the cross it. I'm like, Rob McLean's trying to comment. Rob McLean's a professional fucking TV commentator.
Aye.
This clown in the background, like some fucking random that you'd sit behind at the game going, mate, go and shut the fuck up and try to watch the football.
Rob McLean actually said to him at one point, you ever thought of being a coach? He said it to him.
It is, that's it, go shut the fuck up.
Aye, he must have been going, fucking hell.
No, because I was back on the Hibs TV in the end. We got it through. I switched the method I use off, and we got another link through Charlie's phone, and we what do you call it? Airplay.
Airplay, whatever.
Airdrop onto the telly, and we had Hibs TV back, and it was like fucking massive relief. I thought, well, at least they're on. I can ignore them. No, Cliff's all right. But I was like, fuck's sake. Anyway, that was what I thought of the game. I can't remember what it was. I was more concentrating on them and the telly. Fucking hell. But I think we deserved to win the game. I think we were the better team. I think we're really in any danger of letting a goal in. Marshall had one good save. He made one really good save. Other than that, he never really had much to do. Came and he took a cross. He punched across. I think Marshall was decent today. And we've been hammering him. He's been getting hammered, and I've been critical of him for a long time. But I thought he had a good game today. When he had a save to make, he made it, and that's the kind of save I was hoping we were going to get from him when we signed him.
I can't remember the name of the boy that was on co-comments for Aberdeen, but so as the
Andy
game was,
Dorman.
as the game was petering out in the last few minutes of injury time, he says Hibs haven't had to work for the win today. Would you agree with that, John? Or to what extent would you agree with that?
No, I disagree with that entirely because I think it's always easier to point to your own shortcomings rather than praise your opponent. So Aberdeen, like Hibs and Aberdeen, are both in roughly the same sort of position down the bottom of the league. They've got a couple of points more than us. I think they got a 2-2 draw last week.
Less now.
Oh, less now.
Aye.
So yeah, no, I think the first half, as I said, was probably even and reflective of their respective standings in the league. But I think our ability to score more goals, as I referred to last week, saw us through in the end. And I think so. There's maybe an argument there that their first goal, that they were a little bit slack in thinking that the ball would just go out of play, and that was when I was referring to Doidge going and collecting the ball. But the second ball, you can't take away from like a decent delivery because Doidge has got the first one there and hit the crossbar, and then the second one, we've just like all the things that we've been critical of Hibs in recent weeks, like second balls, like attacking things, desire, all that sort of stuff. Like we showed that, but that's not to say that Aberdeen weren't competing. Aberdeen were definitely competing. They had a, they're now in the, I want to say the Conference League now. So like they're a decent team.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say relegation. I thought you were going to say playoff spot. I wasn't sure what you were. Isn't this where they are?
So no, they're a good side. And like I say, I think it's always easier to say that we were shit rather than praising an opponent.
He's definitely got to get sacked soon. Because they've got to have to play Thursday, Sunday. I watched them coming down the touchline at the end, and he wasn't shouting back at them, but he was watching them, shouting at him. He's on the slippery slope. They've appointed him on the basis of 6-8 good results last season, and panicked into giving him the job. And he's never really he'll be sacked. He'll be sacked by November once they get pumped a couple of times in the conference.
Booing him at the end, so that's really a good sign. Or sorry, they were booing. Decide the result, the whatever.
It's interesting though because, why would he not be under pressure for being sacked? Like Lee Johnson, because there was no points out of 3. You just think that's like you're only one game further in and being above them.
Yeah,
and they've not had a great time in Europe either. They had a 2-2 and then hammered at home. Like Hacken beat them.
I never saw it and I never heard it, but the radio today. He was, and we're talking about Aberdeen and Hibs, but he was talking about how we've had a good start to the season, and all that, like trying to spin it that way. They went back to Willie Miller and he went, "No, he's not.
No, he's not at all." Aye.
And I'm not a big Willie Miller fan. Well, certainly no in punditry terms, but it's true, eh? Like they're fucking bottom of the league, or as good as bottom of the league. Who is bottom? St Johnstone.
Aye.
Can you hear the Bairns playing outside?
Aye.
That is fucking irritating. I shut the window and everything. Honestly, there's 4 of them, 5 of them, and I shouldn't moan because there is Bairns playing. That's good. Bairns are good playing on their bikes and that. Eh?
Folk will understand, Colin.
Do they not care I'm trying to record a podcast? Come on.
You need to
just shout out the window. I'm calling for Longbangers.
Aye.
I'm on the fucking night shift. That's the fucking night shift.
I can see the light going round my name, Ken, on hanging. I'm thinking, I'm not saying nothing. How's the light going round it? They must be able to hear that, and I can't because I've got these soundproof sort of headphones on.
Aye. Apologies to the listeners and everything, but we're not professional setup, Colin. It's all right. Folk understand. We can only do what we can do. We've no got studio time or nothing like that. That's better.
See how that goes. Shut the windows. It's fucking roasting though, eh? It's like a fucking sauna.
Aye, that's it.
But that's what I do for the listeners.
It's the hits you take, isn't it? Right, here's a question for you. Neither of you can take this one, right? So you could look at the last 2 games as a wee bit of an audition for David Gray getting the job. Today we didn't see for Hibs like a balls out attacking style of play. We weren't relentlessly on top. It wasn't like watching peak Barcelona or anything like that. But what we got for Hibs was fight, endeavour, team totally organised, bodies on the line, all the cliches that you would put into what you want to see for a Hibs team. We saw it today. Would you watch that every week? It would be the question. Is that the type of football that we want to see?
Away to Aberdeen, I'm happy with it.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it was like exciting. I've got a so I think a bit of the problem at the moment is we're playing Boyle and Yuan, and I totally get why we're playing Boyle and Yuan, right? There's two big money fucking on the biggest wages, the biggest signings.
Aye.
But I think it's effective for the two of them in the team. And that formation. It's just like and they're almost trying to outdo each other.
Mm.
They're both making wrong decisions. They're both trying to take shots on when the pass is on. The decision making is like honking. And I don't know if they need to go with one of them up one through the middle or one just out wide and a more solid player on the other side or something. But the two of them at the moment are getting on my fucking nerves.
It's it's interesting because Vente played today, and you wouldn't have Kent. Vente never got a sniff.
Nah,
But
because they wouldn't pass him the fucking ball.
that's and they're obviously you've got that pace on the wings, which is on paper you would go fucking brilliant. Actually, if you say the front three, Vente and Boyle and Ewan supplying them, like causing havoc and cutting it back or sending crosses in. But that setup, I agree with you, Colin, isn't working now. So you're almost relying on getting the ball to Ewan or getting the ball to Boyle and just letting them do the rest rather than have a system. Now, I didn't mean it to be like a loaded question. I said, like, is that the sort of style of play that you want to see? I wasn't meaning that in a negative way because we won like it was effective and we created plenty of chances. Like we could have won by more than 2 goals. Like if we had better decision making at kind of crucial moments, their keeper made a couple of good saves, etc. I don't know, John, what do you think about it? Is that what you want to be watching?
I'm happy with the result. I'm happy going to Pittodrie and coming away having scored 2 goals and come away with 3 points. I was going to ask when you asked that question actually whether it was a loaded question, whether you were saying this was an opportunity for David Gray to showcase what he might bring to the Hibs role, and I don't know. I wasn't sure whether that was going to be fair or not because I don't know. Like, I think the caretaker manager's position is always tricky because I mean he doesn't know that he's getting the job. Like he doesn't even know if he's going to be interviewed, presumably, because Hibs are still out. You know, it's quite. There's been a bit of noise in the press about speaking to Graham Arnold and sounding out Nick Montgomery about like how much it's going to cost to get him over. And it's like I said, first half it was kind of even. Second half, I was happier, but there was also the 2 goals. And do you know, it maybe comes back to something as simple as that. Like, see, as long as Hibs are scoring goals and they're doing all right, I'm happy. And I know that seems like I'm contradicting myself with what I was saying before about like McInnes or whatever, but aye. Like maybe I'm quite a simplistic supporter. Like I'm just happy when Hibs score goals and Hibs win. And do you know what? It wasn't even like a boring win. Like it wasn't like we scraped a 2-0 win. Like the 2 goals that we scored were good goals.
Yeah.
Aye, and I think this is the point I was making. We try to be clear that it wasn't a loaded question because it did sound like, oh, it was shite, but we won. And I'm not saying that at all because there was a lot to like about the performance today. And actually, a lot of the things that we saw for the Hibs team today is stuff that was missing under Johnson and stuff that we've been saying that we wanted to see. But also, I totally agree with your point, John, that the caretaker manager job is you can't put your own style on it, I think, because he's only got like a couple of weeks. There's no point saying, right, rip up everything that we've been working on all pre-season up to now. We're going to try something completely fucking radical and different. You almost just have to do, right, that's what we've been working on. How do we do that a bit better and get a bit more out of everybody that we've got? Which I think that's what Gray did. He did it against Villa. He did it today against Aberdeen. Got a good result. But I don't think that's necessarily how you would see us progressing if he was mad. I don't know. Maybe that's exactly what he would bring. But I don't think it would be fair to judge him one way or another. If we'd got beat today, I would be saying the same. And I don't think you can take it as an audition either.
That's interesting because I think if he'd got beat today, some of the critics would be saying, well, he's definitely not ready for the Hibs job. But a victory today doesn't go in the plus column for him either.
Exactly. That's it. It's just like it's a good result and you take it for what it is, but it's no more and no less than that. A good performance, a good result. It won't do him any harm, but I wouldn't be building a case for him getting the job or not getting the job on what he does as a caretaker manager. And I just never think that's fair.
Yeah. We change the direction here. The lads
for
are away, so I've opened the window.
Excellent.
5 of them, primary school age, must be 8 o'clock, bedtime, whatever, right? 3 of them had football strips on. Right? 2 Liverpool strips and a PSG strip. One with Messi on the back, one with McAllister on the back, and one with just Jack on the back, right? What's your thoughts on that? Like, where I am, we've got 5 laddies out with football, well, 3 of them with football strips on, and they're wearing like Liverpool and PSG strips.
It's sad, isn't it? Like,
that is really bad, eh?
Aye.
I blame the parents.
Even if it was a heart strip, I'd rather see, like, believe it or not, I'd rather see a wee lad out there with a heart strip on than that, eh? But,
I think it's like when you see like the kind, and I can't talk relevant. I'm firm and support Hibs. I'll kick about with Hibs top on, right? So I was going to say, so when you see folk in Edinburgh with Celtic and Rangers tops, I suppose I'm guilty of that as well, to just a different degree. But I agree with you, Colin. You'd rather have the local teams than. It's just they've been sold it's marketing, isn't it?
Don't get me wrong, like my daughter's like, she likes football strips, so she's had a PSG strip, she's had a Liverpool strip as well in the past, but she always gets the Hibs strips every year, and that's her go-to. And there are other ones that she'll wear other days. But like, you see them at playing, you think, fucking McAllister, like.
And he's been retired for years.
I think they spell it right. I think they spell it
right. Right. Back to the game. There's a bit of controversy in the first half. The potential red card for Aberdeen player looked like he threw an elbow. Would you think the yellow right, red card? Where did you land on that?
I'll let John speak because I think he'll have to go.
You want to make this your last contribution, John?
Aye, go on then. I think there was a strong argument for it to be a red card. He's led with the elbow. I know that there's maybe a wee bit of a height difference there between him and Yuan, but he still caught him in the jaw with his elbow. Like, I know it's not been like an aerial challenge where he's like deliberately, coming in with the elbow or anything like that, but he's led with the elbow and he's hit him in the face. Like, it seems a bit of a no-brainer for me.
I was surprised to see the yellow card coming out. Yeah, I think VAR should have got involved, Colin.
I've got to admit, like, the first view I saw, I thought a yellow card, fair enough. He's just cut over him. But then I've seen the replays, and I thought, he did go with the elbow. But when I first watched it, I never clocked it. So I get why the referee might have just thought it was a heavy tackle. But that's where VAR's meant to come in and go, well, ref, like, that's harder than that's an elbow in the bus. So I thought VAR should have come in once I saw the replays, which is what their fucking job is.
Aye. Unless would that fall under it's not clear and obvious enough, then it's like a sort of bit of the balance. Is that if you were being kind to VAR, would that be one that you're not involved with?
I don't like it. It's pretty clear and obvious, isn't it? That you got it wrong when you see the replays.
Yeah. Aye. So player protection and stuff like that as well. Like, I think we've got a responsibility to. I thought it was a red card that it should have been.
Yeah, I didn't think it in the first view, like. So, I just thought it was a heavy. I thought it was a yellow card. I was shooting for yellow because we obviously picking up loads of bookings for less fouls than them.
Aye.
But
Shinny getting away with his usual as well, like for fucking ages. What
was it about the sort of 70th, 80th minute before he finally got booked?
Aye.
Yeah.
And it's just like niggly wee like tugs and. And I'm guessing he's got. I think he got booked basically for persistent fouling because he'd been doing that all game. Like, he'd been committing the same foul throughout the game
for blatantly kicking whoever it was. He fucking Joe Newell. He lost the battle. It wasn't Newell. And he's on the deck and he just fucking booted him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even a niggly like that was a fucking blatant yellow card. The other ones added up together is another yellow. Like, he just gets away with it. Just constantly gets away with it. Anyway, enjoy your lasagna, mate.
Aye.
Right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. And if you, I suppose the other one we talked about player not getting a booking was Duke in the second half.
But, did he not get booked? No, because I couldn't tell for the TV because there seemed to be a bit of uproar after it, where it looked like he was moaning. But I thought he was. I wasn't sure if he got booked or not. But he should. I don't know if you can retrospectively book for diving. There's different rules for diving.
I think if it had got the penalty. Then but I don't know how that works now with VAR because VAR you would say they would have to look at it and.
It's interesting because the ref didn't give it, so the ref thought it was a dive, but he didn't book him. Then VAR confirmed it's a dive. So is he not allowed to book up? Does he have to book him instantly when he thought that's a dive, mate? You're a diving cunt. We all ken, yeah, right? Everybody knows he is.
Yeah.
Hibs Twitter admin knows he is. We all fucking know it. Everybody fucking knows it. Was it they say? You ken it, I ken it. Patsy kens it. We all ken it. Everybody knows he's a diving bastard. Right, he's done it. He's done it loads of times already. The ref knew it. He didn't give it. Why did they not book him? Because they can then take the booking off him if DAR proves that for once he didn't dive.
Aye. I don't know why, unless it's like one of these ones the ref thought there was enough in it that he's no...
There was contact. Aye, there was a
like,
bit
you
of
know, it's like it's a bit of this, a bit of that. It's made him fall down, but not enough for it to be a...
But then you've got
foul.
to, like, because it's him, you're going to err on the side of dive, aren't you? Surely.
Well, I would, aye. But I thought it was a clear... I think you can tell from his reaction that he's looking for the penalty. He actually had one in the first half. I can't remember if it was Josh Campbell or Lewis Miller, was almost left the leg in. And Kim
he put the arms up like that.
Like that, and his feet together, like ready to go. And then he just sort of
100%.
went, and then never did it, but he was... Because I was like,
he definitely
did. Fucking dive here.
Said it to Charlie when he fucking thought about diving there, because you can see it coming, you can see it. And Miller was on it, but Miller was good today, by the way. He was very good. Miller
was outstanding. So I was just going to come on to that, like standouts today for Miller and Jago. Jago particularly with an early booking, because obviously he got booked for his first foul. I think after Shinhead had a few, as these things go. I thought there was a bit of risk. Josh Campbell was probably lucky not to get sent off because he had one. Yeah. Probably there was like a second yellow later on that the referee didn't give. But Jago, outstanding. So he put the work in, kept possession well. Like he only gave the ball away like a couple of times, I think, if that. But Lewis Miller, he seems to be growing into that right back role.
He was good.
Anyone else you would call out? What about you, Aaron Boyle? Like I said, you said you got frustrated by them, but they caused problems.
Aye, but they cause problems with no end product because it's like they can't look up or something. Like I don't know what it is. Like they're cutting in, they're chopping back, they're getting a shot away to the near post and all that, or like fucking ballooning it over the bar and that, and you're like, what? Like have a look. Like you're not just there. You're there as part of an attacking force. They're an attacking team. Unit. Right? It's not just about you, but it feels like it's just about them. Whether in some kind of mind O'Connor and Riordan used to have a wee bet on who would get the most goals. Like they've taken it to a new level. And it's like, well, I'm not fucking getting you it. Because they two would still pass each other. It's like, fucking hell. Like, and then Venti in the middle is totally ineffective in between them as well.
Aye.
And it'll change when he put on Lafondra and Deutsch. He got better.
That changed interesting because he was getting a wee bit of stick, wasn't he, Gray, for not making the subs on one of the WhatsApp groups that were in. And then he did make the changes, and fuck me, they were effective. Deutsch did brilliantly for the first goal. And it was a typical chase of a lost cause, really, because I think everybody was expecting that ball just to go out.
The Aberdeen defenders did.
Aye, switched off. Deutsch stayed switched on. Nice wee ball back in. I think it's New lays off to Lafondra, and what a fucking lovely finish it was.
Yeah. It was almost like the New layoff. Not quite the same, but very similar to the one that Venti done for him in the European game. Different position on the pitch and all that, but it was perfect weight for Lafondra just to smash it first time. So it was a great goal, really good goal.
And then I think it's maybe still about 15 minutes left to go at that point. And I think it's big 15 minutes to go. Hope we can hold on. We get a corner. I think we win 3 headers, something like that. Deutsch heads off the bar, and there's another 2 headers before.
It was a great header, that one, by the way. That was a really good header, the one hit the bar.
Actually, the one that he scored by is good because he has to generate the power on it, because it's like the ball's just bobbling about. That was brilliant. And what do you think of Deutsch? It's Deutsch last season obviously went out on loan to Kilmarnock. It looked very much like his time was up at Hibs.
Yeah.
He's obviously stayed here this window. Is he going to be an important player for us this season?
It appears to be. Like, we seem to be better when he's in the team so far this season, but he's on one of the runs now. When he's scoring and creating chances. Was it John that said I was going to correct him earlier? Not correct him, pick him up earlier when he said it was a typical Deutsch goal, because it wasn't. Like, it was a cracking header. You know, like a typical dodgy
Kev-
goal to me is not that.
And how I
It-
described it to Josh when I texted him. I said it's a proper Deutsch goal as well.
Huh?
I mean, it's just
Is
like
it
the
though?
ball bobbling about, and he just made a nuisance. I can't what you were saying because it was a clean
Wasn't
header.
it? Because it was 3 headers. Like, it was a clean header into the corner. Keeper never like fumbled it or nothing. You know what I mean? It was like it was. I think Lewis Miller maybe headed it on to Hanlon. Hanlon headed it on, and Dodge bulleted it into the
Aye,
or generated the pace into the corner. But it was a good header.
it
Like
was.
a typical Dodge goal to me isn't a good header. He scored some, but a typical goal is like a trundler that he almost tried to miss. But it was a good goal. In the first header he hit the bar, it was even better.
Aye.
So I think he's playing well now. There's no doubt about Le Fondre as well. Like, you know, everybody was like, "Oh, 36-year-old A-League and all that shit."
He's
You know, he's
been brilliant. Lafondre. Like I didn't really know that much of what type of player Lafondre was when we signed him.
yeah.
So I've been really surprised. I've been surprised at how fit he is, and like the work rate that he puts into the game. But actually, somebody I think called out, like his goals per minute ratio for us must be fucking terrific because he doesn't need like that much of a sniff at goal to get a shot away.
Yeah.
He's been good, and he definitely made a difference when he came on.
Mm-hmm.
So a massive 3 points in the end. Really, I think most folk can. Like I didn't think we were going to get anything today. If I was being honest, before the game,
I would have taken a draw.
if it had been 0-0, this would have been the same. A draw would have done. But now we're going to the international break. Hopefully, we get players like Obita, Wallacott, Levitt back as well.
Apparently he's close. Didn't realise.
They said it was only going to be a couple of weeks when the scans and that. So there's maybe a bit of reason to be optimistic for the rest of the season, Colin.
I think we've got. Well, that's the thing though, because I don't think we've ever said we've got a bad. I don't think I have ever said our squad's bad. It's that we're not playing well. Like, and we've lost games to St Mirren and that, but that was all to do with the distraction of Europe, I think, and maybe poor tactical decisions and all that. But the new guy will have the same problem that you're spending a fortune on Venti, Boyle, and Yuan. You fit them in the team.
Aye, I think you're right. Maybe you go, you play Venti and one of the two of them up top, and then you have a 4 in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's no fashionable.
You could get away with playing Boyle on the right, but you could. I know it's no, but you could get away with Boyle on the right hand side of the right hand side of a 4.
Aye,
with Yuan and Venti up front. But then we're leaving out Dodge and fucking Le Fondre, who have been more effective than they 3.
Aye, it's a nice problem to have, isn't it? Right, let's before we wrap up, let's go through talking points from for Twitter. Right, so Andy McVeigh is first. Was his VAR failed to give a red card, but also failed to give Aberdeen a pen when there was a clear contact on Duke for the pen. I have to say,
the one we just spoke about.
I would have to say I didn't agree with that. Andy,
is there another one like he's talking about? Everybody knows this a dive, surely.
I think. Well, I'll let you know which side Andy supports.
Yeah.
So, I think it's. Aye. He's just Sir Grapes there, Andy.
Well, we've got an Aberdeen fan message in.
That's all.
Because I saw them going nuts on the Twitter post as well, just throwing the whataboutery on the Boyle and that. Because Boyle's like been criticised of diving once or twice. Like, let's count up Duke's ones. Duke's never stayed on his feet yet.
What I'm going to do is just because this is a wee bit of trolling, just going to put blatant dive as per usual from Duke in my reply to him. That'll just get the rage going on it.
The ref's got to start with dive and then work his way back for there. That's how it's got to work.
Lex Lofer said, play players in the right position and play 2 up top. It isn't rocket science. Also, play to your strengths rather than trying to play like Man City. Well done, Sir David. Love that, man.
No, that's it. But we didn't play 2 up top. We won the game with 2 up top. We didn't start with 2 up top. So it's not like he's went, we need to do 2 up top. He started with what was already there. But then that's what you were saying. Aye. But then Johnson chased it against St Mirren in the same way.
Aye. I think
it's not like he's done anything different, but like you were saying earlier about the caretaker, then you can't, can you? You've kind of just got to till you've got the gig, then Just need to do what you can.
Aye. I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Oh, when we're recording extra time, so a spoiler alert. But the what Hibs need for the next manager isn't somebody who's going to come in and try to get us playing like Man City. They need to get the team working as a team. Like that's priority number one, is get more out of the players that we've got and find a system that suits them.
What do you think about the playing for the back thing? Right, like it's all fashionable and it's fancy and it's like what we all want. See the goalie rolling it to the centre half or the kind that pulls wide and they try and knock it out and all that. I'm not convinced by it. Like I think you need to have like proper. I think you almost need to have midfielders playing centre half to pull it off. You know, like Man City can or Barca did when they done it.
Aye.
Whereas I didn't think we've got the players that are good enough at football. And I'm not trying to be. No, I'll be critical, but I'm not being right. They're defenders. They're good defenders. They've had good careers in that. They're no midfielders. Midfielders are the ones that can do that good stuff, and they just look. It just looks clunky as fuck. And then they're just passing the back and forth between each other, and they're not actually going anywhere. Like the whole point of that is you draw the boy in, you knock it there, you draw the wee triangle. Somebody's in space, and you're fucking in the midfield in space. We can't do that. We just pass it back and forth to each other.
And they go like long diagonal
in the space. Just fucking punt it in the first place.
Aye. I don't know. Like, I think it's if you have like control of the ball, there's an argument to be made for it. But I think it's a lot of the reason why a lot of the football over the last however many years hasn't been that exciting. It's because we play it and we get ourselves into trouble, or you just end up going along the line because teams will let us have it there as well. Like they'll go, "Fucking, you're not going to score by handling and fish passing it between each other."
No. And mind you, it used to be even in the Championship, they would go. You would see teams would just let McGregor have it. Because as good a defender as McGregor was, and how much as we loved him, teams would go, just let him have it. And if you can get him on his left foot, even the better.
Aye. Right, Pat Fry's image said, after a win, you put the officials' performance to the back of your mind, but considering the decisions in the past few games, what needs to change? I've only seen the clips posted by Freddie, but how is it not a red card for the elbow on Yuan and a yellow for Duke's dive? Just call him Duck, which I quite like. I hope that's deliberate. I don't know what needs to change. Like you've got VAR, which is supposed to sort all these things out in it, and it's not. And I think over the last season,
no. And did you see that? And I suppose it's no VAR, but did you see that decision yesterday in the Kilmarnock game?
Oh, fucking dreadful!
Jesus fuck! The boy scored a cracking header. And the ref, what's the ref doing blowing his whistle? Like what? Like you may have played advantage anyway.
Aye.
Like never mind, even if there was no VAR. Like it's fucking mental. So I think that's just the standard of the officiating rather than VAR. Now that one the day that the elbow, I missed it, but on replay I went, "Yeah, fucker, that could be a red card." I don't know if VAR checked it. I meant, nah, it's all right, or it's not clear and obvious, or whatever. Don't know. How Duke never got booked for diving could be that the referees thought, and this might be a technicality of it. Mm-hmm. The refs thought, no penalty, so I'm not giving the penalty. But maybe they banged into each other because you can't bang into each other and no be a dive.
Aye.
But then when VAR checked it, they went no penalty, but they can't then say book him for diving. I don't know if they're allowed to.
Because they don't intervene for yellow card offences.
Aye, so that could be the technicalities that they didn't really explain to you that we don't understand, and then we get messages like that. And I don't know. I'm not defending them, but it could be that.
What did you think, Stubbs? There was a podcast that came out through the week. Stubbs says a referee had told him you'll never get a penalty against Rangers. Well,
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about that. I've heard Craig Levine saying almost the exact same thing, and it's almost a regurgitation of that story. And whether Stubbs is just using it or it happened, I don't know. But Levine's definitely said it about, I think it was Dougie McDonald he was talking about at Ibrox. Was it? I might be wrong. Could be mixed up because McDonald was the other one. I fell out with.
Fell out with him, I think.
I know, but there was a referee. I don't know if he ever said who it was, but he alluded to it.
Didn't name him.
They alluded to it though. Ken, it was like one of them where so there was one where at Ibrox. And he was like, "You're getting on here today," because he'd fell out with him previously. And I don't doubt that happens, because you see it. It just fucking.
What
There's no
needs?
doubt.
Go back to John, who's part of his image. Go back to John's question about what needs to change. Surely that comes into it as well, because how, like, at what point do you start looking at these decisions and going, "That's no." In inverted commas, your honest mistake, and the Celtic fans fucking use that as a sort of an ironic thing. But there's more and more evidence now that some of this stuff isn't fucking mistakes. It is deliberate. It's conscious decisions to fucking effectively cheat. How do you root it out?
Well, there needs to be like maybe an independent governance round it, that isn't the same people that have maybe been one of them that are promoted out of it, like Hugh Dallas, when he done that job for a wee while, and then it's like, now I can't remember who the top boy, the referee's chief is now, but it needs to be like, they need to pay for independence. Can we get like the folk of England to do our assessment of referees? Or I say England just because it's down the road, but it could be fucking Wales.
Yeah. No, Ireland.
Why not Ireland?
Well, AK Rab said, loads of the same players LJ used as this show that they just didn't want to play for him anymore.
Nah.
I think it shows that he didn't know how to motivate them. I mean, not necessarily that they didn't want to play for him, because I never ever thought anybody was no trying, but they definitely looked like they tried more, but they did more. I'm not contradicting myself, but
I was going to say, but that team went up to Pittodrie last year, and we drew because we missed the penalty.
Aye, and we went to Luzerne and got the result there. Do you know, there's plenty of evidence of the team trying, but I don't
think we need to go into the players of down tools.
No.
Chat.
I think even when you look at like the St Mirren game, where we were shite, we got back into that game
by doing what David Gray done today.
Jake Gapper said, give Gray 10 games then if we need to start looking for a manager. Also, Alv's minutes per goal tally, chef's kiss emoji. Would you? Is it worth taking your time? Like saying we can afford to take our time now because we'll give Gray the reins, or I tend to agree. I think if you
give him it or you don't.
Aye, and if you know somebody else is going to get the job, just give them it as early as you can.
Yeah. Then because the 10 games time, we're probably not kicking arse off Christmas. So then they're coming and going, better get somebody in now then. Have we got to change them? We keep them. We keep them after the 10 games. It'll be like 5 games in, we're going, well, we've done all right, but if we're Rangers Celtic, we'll disregard the games. You know, and we'll be...
The January window
comes. January window's coming. Yeah, do it or don't.
Lauren said, SDG got it spot on. Subs as well. Back four were brilliant. Jeg also had a good game. So good to go into the international break with a bit of momentum and positivity. We're back in the mix now. Let's get a decent manager. The bit of positivity is funny, right? Because we 3-0 defeat in midweek, but that was like better than expectations. It's a funny thing, like that defeat, and I think you give huge credit to everyone that went down there. Like all the support that went down there were terrific. Like watched it on the TV. John went down repping Longbangers, and it was magnificent. And it looked like Hibs took over Birmingham for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Back the team to the hilt. The players gave a great performance, and then they followed it up with a win the day. And it does feel like, even though it's a defeat and a win, it feels like you've got a bit of momentum and a bit of change in mood about the place.
Aye, it's good for the window, the international break as well.
Aye.
Because you've got that week now, 10 days, whatever it is, till the next game, or 2 weeks, whatever it is.
Lemon said, am I the only one who listened to Cliff and Kev Harper on comms? No, you're not, and a lot of people did. It wasn't working, I had no audio on my Hibs TV
I got feed,
but I did eventually. So I had to put up with Rob McLean and what was the other boy's name?
Dornan, Andy Dornan. 2 games he played for Aberdeen, just 2 games. I was like, who's this? We were going, must be Frank McDougall or somebody like proper, like old boy, because he sounded old. I saw your tweet After the way, some guy get this
Right,
lens.
somebody need to hand them a lens, so never mind a bother at half time, give him a lens.
It was horrendous. It
But it
wasn't
was
that as much. The sniffing in that did, like as I've said, was fucking horrendous. But all the shouting, like just random
know,
nonsense.
my favourite bit was just before we scored the opener. He goes, get out. And his second get out when just as Lafondra hit it, he's like, get out. I went, get fucking in.
I was off
Just
with it.
teed it up nicely.
It was mainly the first half I was getting it. He done the get out in the first half as well.
Aye.
Like, what's going on here? Like, what the fuck are we listening to?
He's definitely been coached by managers that shout second ball, winners.
Aye, winners.
Seconds.
He didn't even say second balls, you say seconds. By the way,
winners. Parmaham 2 up front works for us. Why don't we do it all the time? It's a good question. I don't think you want to sit with the same tactic every game, though, do you? Like, you probably want to have some flexibility.
No, I think you do, but you probably need to pick. You look at the players you've got and pick the formation that suits, and you would actually, right, on paper, you might go, and especially if you're looking at the salary column at the same time, Vinty, Boyle, Ewan. I'll do that 4-3-3 shite.
Aye.
It's no be Martin.
Jimmy says, after the shite defending over the last few weeks, it was good to see them actually defend very well. And a special mention to Diego and Miller. Thought they were VG. I like the use of VG there.
VG.
Yeah.
Miller was good. I did think that. I thought there was at times there were still crosses coming in when they shouldn't. And there was one in particular, remember, and this is going to sound like I'm hammering Ewan again, but Stevenson tracked the midfield runner because Ewan didn't. And then Ewan didn't bother his arse going to the boy with the cross, and Stevenson was almost like between the two. And that's one of the reasons why so many crosses are coming in, because of that formation, back to that 3 thing, and if they're not coming back to do their job. It was the number 8 that was running in, and Stevenson just went to him because he thought, better go. I'll just let the cross come in and I'll deal with the boy, rather than leaving the boy unmarked and try to stop a cross. And Ewan just came into the picture at the tail end of it, and you think, fucking hell, man.
It's those wee lapses that'll cost us, like in some games when we get away with it today. Jeff Ashton said players playing in the right positions, no thrills defending and pace on the break. SDG making it look easy. No duds in the team today. Subs were class. Amazing what a clean sheet can do. VAR, what's the point when they miss the blatant ones? Duke's still a diving bastard. And Aldo said points. Duck the diver. Deutsch making the difference, and Aberdeen are just a gang. Aberdeen were very physical. I noticed that Rob McLean called Hibs out for it at one point, said we're just spoiling. And we did do it to an extent, just to break up the play. I think it was after Newell had just taken one for the team. Aberdeen were very physical as well.
It's interesting though, because you look at it and you go, and obviously you're listening to Aberdeen TV there, right? So he's got to be biased. He's not doing his BBC job where he might be more neutral.
No.
But they had more fouls at half time. We were looking at the stats, kind of came up on the screen. They had more fouls and less bookings, and I know it's it's the severity of the foul as well. But you go, but they're doing more of it. Like, so how are they not getting booked? And it's because fucking Shinnie was playing. That's why.
And last talking point then, Kowalski, 1875, said, should Hibs be looking at Kettlewell for manager? Did Motherwell get a result today?
I believe that. I think they might be second in the league. I think they won at Tynecastle.
Well, I never. They must have had any disadvantages for that. They weren't playing with 10 men or fuck all like that, were they?
Well, actually, Paul McGinn got sent off as well with about half an hour to play. So
amazing. So the Gorgie Galacticos, didn't they?
I don't know if they've got a penalty, Hearts, today.
Maybe that's what went wrong.
I did read on the BBC that it says if Shanklin doesn't score, Hearts don't score. But then if Shanklin doesn't get a penalty, Shanklin doesn't often fucking score either.
There you go. Kettlewell, I don't know. He's definitely. It's funny. I'm never convinced with Kettlewell. He's doing well for Motherwell. I just think it's not going to last. And maybe that's been unfair on the boy, but
I know.
I don't know. Kim, see when you get talking on the TV, getting interviewed, it sounds like he's. How would I describe it? It's like he tries to rattle off like a management playbook for the stuff that he's doing. Almost like here's all the theory that I'm following to do what I'm doing. and I'm just never quite convinced by him.
I really need to catch up with the boy at my work who's on the scouting team in Motherwell. He's got a full-time job, but he does the scouting for Motherwell. Really need to catch up and hear what they're saying. Well, I tried to get some info out of him previously, but almost like who you looking at, so I can give Lee Johnson a bell game. But we'll see. I'll see what I can find out. Maybe get him on, eh? Can maybe get him on to talk about scouting.
Well,
sounds a bit boring,
maybe an extra time or something. We'll get Hibs one on. If the Hibs scouts listening and want to come on and talk about it, we'll get them on. Right, thanks very much for sending in your talking points. We're going into the international break, so we'll find some stuff to fill the time with. Extra time this week, we look at some of the runners and riders that are in the frame for the Hibs job today. So we'll discuss Nick Montgomery, we'll discuss Sir David Gray, Neil Lennon, not Kettlewell, but Robinson and McInnes are in there as well.
But you could have probably chuck Kettlewell in that same bucket, though.
I mean, it's much of a muchness, isn't it? So if you want to listen to that, that's out on Wednesday morning. You can go to our Twitter and you can sign up. £2 a month, right? That's next to nothing. Well, you'd be daft not to, really. Right, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee.